Boy, Trump's going to show you right off the bat how he's going to run things, isn't he?
Boy, no kidding.
Robert Kennedy is over everything that has to do with health in this country.
God,
what a joke that is.
Man, oh man.
Nominate a guy for the highest law enforcement office in the country that's under investigation for child sex.
Yeah.
That just, would you not even just give us a break and nominate somebody that.
Yeah.
Pass a record of background check.
I'm telling you, it's going to get pretty ugly. The people I feel most sorry for are illegal aliens.
Yep. It's not.
Because, they say, oh, yeah, we can do it without disrupting families or separate. BS.
Yeah,
it is going to end.
That's actually part of the plan, for them to get the word out so they won't come.
Yeah.
I like I saw something the other day that made me laugh. So this Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh yeah, isn't that something with Elon Musk running it? How many billions or trillions of dollars has he gotten from the United States government for doing jack?
Right.
How much pork is in those deals?
And Ramaswamy, 2 people to run the Department of Efficiency. Anyway, we're streaming now, and we're live in the room, so I don't think we have a whole lot to worry about.
Good thing everything you're saying is fact.
Exactly.
I try to talk in facts.
We're almost 2 minutes out. Oh, and I have, not that it matters to you guys, but I have changed the first cut of music in the first break.
Thanks for letting us know.
It's not going to be The Sound of Music. It's going to be Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that a whole lot more than The Sound of Music.
Well.
Okay, 1 minute out. Thirty seconds. Maybe Trump can pardon Diddy and put him in charge of event planning at the White House. Here we go. Broadcasting live from the breathtaking Tyler Media Studio D in Oklahoma City, it's McRoof Talks Insurance on KOKC AM 1520, FM 95.3. I'm Rick Allen Lippert here with restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCollum.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Also here is HAAG-certified roofing inspector Scotty McCollum.
Hello, Rick.
Hello. Running man Eric Yandel is the wizard on the other side of the glass. He'll answer your calls to 405-478-1520. We're live streaming today on the McRoof Talks Insurance YouTube channel. We're waving at you. And we're also on iHeartRadio, so you can hear us anywhere in the US of A. Just search for KOKC. Act 1 of today's show will start as usual with our trivia question and other interesting tidbits, including the word of the week. That number again, to answer the trivia question or to just call and ask a question, 405-478-1520. In Act 2, we'll hear Scotty's view from the rooftop. This week, Scotty meets with a feisty insurance adjuster, but whips him into shape by pulling a trick out of his magic tool bag. In an episode titled, The Chalk Don't Lie.
I want to hear about this.
Me too. Then in Act 3, we'll take more of your calls and we'll have our After the Storm tips. A group of them actually brought to you by RoofRx, and we'll wrap up with Dad's Wisdom brought to you by Energy Q. Well, and coming back from breaks, we'll have some genuinely obscure historical trivia and some wonderful music today. Well, Scotty the lawyer sent a visitor to my house this morning.
My
A
God.
mean-looking guy in a dark suit to tell me that if I knew what was good for myself, I would remember to say
Yikes.
that S&CM LLC doing business as McRoof.us legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both residential and commercial roofing.
Wow.
I didn't get his name, but he looked like he wasn't very friendly.
I see.
Not very chatty. He said what he had to say,
Just that.
stared me in the eye, and then turned on his heel and walked off.
There it is. He delivered the message.
Exactly. All right, so Scotty, I understand you're giving us the trivia question this morning.
That's what somebody told me too, Rick.
Okay.
The 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty program from Certainteed covers workmanship for how many years? A, 10, B, 15, C, 25, or E? Oh, that should be a D.
That should be a D.
I think that was a copy and paste
That was
error.
a fat finger
Yes.
from Rick.
Yeah.
Or D, 50 years.
Okay.
Or we could just eliminate the letters altogether and just go
Exactly.
with the numbers.
Okay, so
Yes.
Okay.
Certainteed's 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty. This is an enhanced warranty that you have the option to add on to your roofing contract. That warranty covers workmanship for how many years? 10, 15, 25, or 50?
If you think you know the answer to that question, give us a call at 405-478-1520. The winner will get 2 free tickets to any Carpenter Square Theater production this season. We open on our holiday play a week from two weeks from the 29th, 2 weeks from last night.
There we go.
The 29th, Friday of Thanksgiving weekend. It's called The Games Afoot, or Homes for the Holiday.
There you go.
Set in 1936. It's a murder mystery farce, bump and run. Good for the whole family, but not for kids. We don't want squiggly, squirmy kids in the theater. They have to be able to sit still for an hour. 405-478-1520.
Okay.
The Sure Start Plus warranty program from Certainteed covers workmanship for how many years? 10, 15, 25, or 50?
And some people may be surprised that a manufacturer's warranty covers workmanship at all.
Because
we
most
didn't
of them do
emphasize the workman. We didn't emphasize the work. Well, my question to you, Rick, last night when I sent the outline did have workmanship bold.
Yes, I did.
Most people would be surprised to know that it does offer a workmanship degree of coverage.
And in layman's terms, that's labor.
That's right.
So it's the materials are already covered.
Well, why don't we just
Yes.
get to the word of the week and really talk about
Okay.
okay.
All right.
workmanship?
Well, all right.
Okay,
All
why don't
right.
we
You
do
whiny
that?
baby, go ahead.
So you know how I kind of I tie these things together. So the word of the week is workmanship.
Ah.
Okay? If you're going to tell us how long Certainteed's warranty covers workmanship, maybe you need to know what workmanship is.
So besides labor, what do you, what do you mean by that, Scott?
Okay, so workmanship is the degree of skill with which a product is made or a job is done. So Actually, when you're talking about a roof system, we have products.
Yes.
So we're worried about the workmanship or the quality of the products themselves. And we have products that are installed in a system, and we are particularly concerned about how that system is assembled or put together. Okay? That's what workmanship is. Okay?
All right.
All right.
All
so
right.
It's
Interesting.
very, very, very important.
Yes, it is.
You can have the greatest products in the world and have them used for a purpose for which they were not intended or installed not in accordance with the manufacturer's requirements, and you basically have garbage.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
All
Yep,
right.
yep, yep.
Or vice versa. We've seen inferior products perform very well because they were installed by a true craftsman.
Oh, okay.
Not very often,
Yeah.
but it
Right.
goes both ways.
So
Okay.
then,
It goes
you're
both ways.
in that scenario. Then you're much more worried with the quality of the product than you are with the installation.
Yes.
But in this case, we're worried about the installation itself. And I should tell you that the reason that that matters. This is a little tidbit that
Okay.
I researched for you guys. The average time in business from when they hung out their shingle. You notice I used
Right.
shingle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, from when
We
they
see what
hung
you did
out
there.
their shingle to the time they took their shingle down and boarded up the doors
Yeah.
for roofing companies in the United States.
Okay.
3.2 years.
Oh my goodness.
Average.
On average.
Average.
Oh, geez.
3.2 years.
To get to 3.2 as an average, that means a whole lot of them go out of business really quickly.
Does it? Yeah, I think that's probably true. So the point being, why would you care about having a multi-billion-dollar roofing manufacturing company like CertainTeed, a company that actually has been in existence for over 350 years? Why would you care about having a company like that standing behind the workmanship on your roof?
Right. Right.
Okay. Now, I will tell you that those contractors that got to that point of having an average of 3.2 years, they would never have been able to have offered you the enhanced warranties that CertainTeed offered, because they wouldn't have the number of years in business, they wouldn't have the reputation, the credentials, and the things that go along with that would have allowed them to offer their clients these enhanced warranties.
And just so nobody calls us and tries to hold our feet to the fire about anything, CertainTeed is owned by Saint-Gobain, French company who has been in business making ships and building materials for
A long, long time.
settlements
Yeah.
in the United States
Yeah.
for 350 years.
Yeah, so to be clear, CertainTeed, 1904 in the United States of America.
Okay.
So,
100.
All
20
right,
years.
but
Yeah.
to get back to the workmanship warranty in a CertainTeed 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty program, for a roofing contractor such as McRoof.us to be able to even offer that means that you've met all kinds of requirements that are set forth by the manufacturer, by CertainTeed.
Yeah, in CertainTeed's world, you would have to be either a shingle master or a select shingle master company, and to offer the 5-star, you have to be a select shingle master company
Okay.
to be able to offer that
Which
5-star
of course you are,
Of
and
course.
have been for a long time.
Of course.
So it's not just any chuck in a truck can offer any kind of workmanship. Well, first off, you're not going to find them in 20 years.
right. Well, and the reality
Good
of
point.
it, is, folks, is everybody that's out there listening is Scotty and I deal with people every day who couldn't tell us who installed their last roof.
Right.
So if they had a problem,
Right.
they wouldn't know who to call.
Right.
That's the reason they're calling us.
Exactly.
Okay, which is great. But that if they had purchased one of these enhanced warranties at the time that they installed that roof, they would have received a packet of information
Right.
from the manufacturer that had all the details about the coverage that they had purchased and how to go through the process of initiating a claim if there ever was a problem. and all of that kind of thing. So they would know. They may not know who installed it, but they would sure know who the manufacturer was.
Okay. So to get back to the trivia question that started this discussion, the 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty program from CertainTeed covers workmanship, that's labor, for how many years? 10, 15, 25, or 50? If you think you know the answer, give us a call right now, 405-478-1520. 405-478-1520. All right, so we had a nice week this past week. Good weather.
Good weather.
We did have
very beautiful weather.
Yeah, it was absolutely a gorgeous
We got
week.
to catch up a little bit with as far behind as we've gotten the last month with
Because of all of the rain.
extreme rain and
And the
tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that little
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that little thing.
Oh boy.
So how many? Any idea how many roofs you were on this week?
I don't know.
A lot.
Uh,
More than average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially because Kelvin is off getting hitched.
Yeah, is
Is
he
he
getting
really?
married today?
This is his wedding day.
Yeah, today is
Today's
Kelvin's
his
wedding
big day. I'm not
so-
sure what time it is in the
so-
Dominican
so-
Republic,
so-
but he will be getting hitched this afternoon.
Well, at least he
And-
did it on a Saturday.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
There you go. So
Oh, we'll have to get on to him a little bit when he gets back because he's been on his texts and Acculinks a couple times this
and we
week.
told him not to do that. He's supposed to be, taking
Off,
care of his
completely off.
of his bride to be. So
Okay.
anyway, but
So what are the notes? You sent me some notes last night, Scotty. The devil is in the details.
Oh, that was from my dad. I need
Okay.
him to.
well, the
clarify that.
devil's in the details, and it's the little things that, and this is what we're talking about, and this really ties in again with workmanship.
Okay.
It is the nuances, I'm going to call it. Okay, it is those minuscule little details in the way that something is done that makes all the difference in how that system ultimately performs. The thing that brought this to mind for me was I was looking at a claim that we were finishing up, getting ready to send our final into the insurance company with our supplements and things, and when we do a roof that has vertical wall intersections, okay, those vertical wall intersections have to be reflashed. The CertainTeed
Right.
Integrity Roof System requires that everything have new flashing, chimneys, walls, whatever, dormers, skylights, everything. So when we have one of these walls, and say it has siding on it, well,
Mhm.
we have to remove the siding.
Right.
Okay, we either have to cut the siding if it's lumber or hardy or something like that we can cut. We have to cut the siding. If it's vinyl, we have to remove the siding. If it's steel siding, we'd have to remove it. If it's stucco, that's a whole different set
Boy,
of problems and
yeah.
issues. But basically what we do is we remove this, okay? We remove it, then we place our ice and water product up that rake, that wall intersection, and vertically up the wall. Then we set our new flashing in, okay? And then we put a Z-bar, which is a metal bar that is designed to hold that siding product up off of the roof, out of the
yeah.
water.
Yes,
We do that
okay.
at 1.5 inches above the shingle. We don't install it right down on top of the shingle, okay? Because that is a drain channel. That's a place for the water
Yes.
to get out. And then we put the Z-bar in and put our cover board on. Now we've got a flashing detail that works. Well, in this
flashing system, not just a piece of
and,
flashing.
and this particular one, for those of you who know what that ordinance or law coverage is for, okay, it's to build things to the code or to the manufacturer's requirements, whichever is more stringent. In this particular case, the cost for us to reflash all of the walls on this particular house were about $6,200.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, if this client did not have ordinance of law and a good insurance company, then he's either going to have to take it out of his pocket or I'm taking it out of mine, and I can't afford to do that. $6,200 is a lot of money. So Scotty and I looked at one the other day that we're guessing it will probably be $25,000
Oh.
to flash everything that is incorrectly flashed on his roof right now.
Oh my
Devil
goodness.
is in the details.
Oh my. With that, we'll take our first break. McRoof Talks Insurance will be back live on KOKC, AM 1520, FM 95.3, worldwide on iHeartRadio. Just search for KOKC. Live streaming on our McRoof Talks Insurance YouTube channel. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll have some really cool old music. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. We'll be right back.
I'm Scotty McCollum, and I am McRoof. Don't let that big out-of-pocket expense on your roof claim stand between you and what you want to do. I'll finance your deductible.
For the Oklahoma thing, I'm going to play the Oklahoma from the movie.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
Financing, no hassle, in-house financing by McRoof. Call Carter today at 855-766-3405 for details. McRoof.us, where every replacement is a replacement done right.
If you don't have an advisor when it comes to your residential, commercial, or metal roof, you might not have met one of McRoof's solution specialists yet. Our team is dedicated to thoroughly evaluating your needs and to developing effective and lasting solutions focused not only on financial cost, but also long-term goals for your home or building. Providing accurate in-person inspections, personal guidance with insurance, roofing, and design factors, and follow-up throughout the repair process, we seek to be your last stop for professional roofing and insurance restoration. McRoof is founded on quality, integrity, and lasting value. If these things appeal to you, give us a call today at 855-766-3405. McRoof.us. Every replacement done right.
And McRoof Talks Insurance back on the air for Act 2 of today's show. On this date in 1776, it was not a good day in the fight for the American Revolution. British and Hessian troops took Fort Washington. Oh my goodness, it was just not a good day. One of the biggest losses of U.S. forces in that war. But fast forward now to 1907. And Oklahoma, not the musical, but the state, joined the Union and became the 46th state of these United States. And coincidentally, you probably already know this, but this song is the official state song of Oklahoma. And George and I tells a great story of how he was able to get that made into the. I'll tell you about it afterwards.
Sounds good.
All right, so enough for that. But on this date in 1968, my man Jimi Hendrix had recorded the Electric Ladyland album. And on this date in 1968, it went #1 in the U.S., stayed #1 for 2 weeks, and all along the Watchtower, written by Bob Dylan. This was when I first heard. That's the first time I heard this song. Didn't know it was a Bob Dylan song at the time.
Wow.
But
That's
thank
really
you,
cool.
Jimmy. And now they've remodeled the studio where he recorded that in New York City, and it's called Electric Ladyland Studio, and they've kept it in the style, the decor of 1968. Oh. I'd like to go
That's
see
cool.
that sometime.
Green shag carpet. And
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, you know, one thing we didn't mention in the first segment is the Fortified Roof Seminar that's coming up Monday.
Yeah, we need to do that. I need to let everybody out there who's listening that would care to learn more about IBHS Fortified, a way of building a roof or building a structure that is going to provide protection against the severe weather that we have here. That event is going to be on Monday at the Central Oklahoma Home Builders Association on East Britton Road, just next door to our studios here. Begins at 11:30 and goes until 1. It is a luncheon event. The director of IBHS Fortified is going to be in town to do the presentation. We've got some friends and folks who are going to join my team. If you would like to come to this event, feel free to do so, and you can be my guest. I'm going to give you a different phone number today. If you would like to come, since we're so short on time, this is Monday, text me 405-600-5587, 405-600-5587. Just tell me, Scott, I'm in and tell me how many people will be attending, and we'll make sure we've accounted for you, and McRoof will pick up your tab for lunch. But it is my birthday, so you might need to bring me something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of pie do you like?
Wanda pie.
Wanda pie.
Yeah.
All right, so forget about the pie, but maybe a cupcake.
Yeah.
All right, so some of the other notes that you sent me yesterday, Band-Aids are expensive.
Well, Scotty talked about it, and in
Yeah.
his, well, you talked about it in your spot. You talked about lasting value.
Oh, okay.
You talked about creating solutions. And, sometimes a Band-Aid is the best we can do for the moment. Maybe it is, we're trying to beat the next rainstorm, or maybe it is that you need a Band-Aid until the adjuster gets out to take a look at your roof and we can actually get something more significant accomplished for you, whatever. But those are really the times where Band-Aids are appropriate. Band-Aids on problems that exist, and this is kind of back to those details. I'll give you a perfect example. You have people that have had a chimney that has leaked ever since their roof was done, okay? And they have had people out who have caulked. They've had people out who have put a sealer on something. They have people out who have tried to maybe remove some shingles, put some ice and water, do a little bit of this. Maybe they put a chimney cap on, but they never did all of it. They never took it apart, got down to the root source of where the issue or the problem is, and addressed it holistically. That's a solution. That's not a Band-Aid.
Right.
Solutions may cost more, but in the long run, they're going to solve problems, and Band-Aids don't typically solve problems. Scotty's got a perfect example of this. We have a client that we re-roofed his home, and the first rain that we had was that 4 or 5 inch rain.
Ooh.
And we had just a little drip down the masonry inside his attic, not in his house or anything else, but that drip shouldn't be there. And we tried to just fix it, okay, thinking that we knew what it was. We tried to just fix it without tearing everything apart. And the next time it rained, he sent me a little picture.
Oh, my.
Still have water on the brick in the inside of my attic.
Yep.
So then we went out, tore it completely apart, put it back together again, and now the problem is solved.
Now it's all
so
fixed.
Yep. It's much easier to do something right the first time than it
yes.
is to do it partially right and partially not
And then
completely optimally, and then
do it again.
investigate and diagnose.
Well,
after.
one of your dad's wisdoms that I've heard you say several times is if you don't have time to do it right the first
better
time,
have time to do it again.
Yeah.
yeah. If you can't afford to do it right, you better be able to afford to do it again. So, yeah. Well, and I'll caution people, and I'll tell people this, particularly when you're dealing with a leak with water. Depending on the condition of your roof, that could be something that is easily identifiable and very isolated to one specific issue. Okay? Could be. Okay? It could be that your roof is in such a condition that when we take care of the most obvious thing, okay, and we seal up that point of that water entering into your attic or into your ceiling, we have moved that water somewhere else, and now it finds another place to come in. Okay? So when we tell you that something is repairable, we give you a scope of work that we have some reasonable assurance that what we're doing for you is going to accomplish the end, the real purpose, the objective. Scotty's got another one. Scotty, you want to talk a little bit about our metal roof friend? Let's talk about that a little bit, because that's a perfect example.
Well, we've done maintenance on a customer's roof that we did not install. Was installed back in 2010, so it's about 14 years old. And it is this gentleman built it from the ground up himself. He designed it, he acted as the architect, and he subbed it out. He contracted the work. They installed OSB decking beneath a metal roof. And The fasteners, before he ever called us 3 years ago, the fasteners had begun to back
Oh
out
yeah,
because
we've been maintaining this for 2 or 3 or 4 years now.
they used very inexpensive fasteners with a very low duty rating washer.
Oh my.
Did not seal those screw openings very well or for very long. So once those neoprene washers began, or these were rubber actually, so rubber's technical differences, chemicals,
Right.
chemical compounds we're dealing with do not weather the same. But long story short, these fasteners had backed out long before we ever got on this guy's roof for the first time. Where those fasteners had begun to back out, water had begun to enter. He has a sprayed foam insulated
On the bottom of his
Deck.
OSB deck.
Yeah.
in his attic. It's all spray foam. You can't see the underside of the roof. Therefore, he didn't know he had issues until it had been developing for who knows,
I can
years.
just imagine.
So where that water gets in underneath the metal around that fastener into the OSB,
It gets trapped
it
by
has
the
no place to go.
Right.
trapped by the spray foam.
And the OSB can only rot.
What does it
at
do?
that point.
That's right.
It's like a
That's right.
sponge. It's soft, and now I'm not going to say all, but a huge percentage of the fasteners on his roof
are loose. Even though we replaced them with oversized fasteners, that decking
That
was already
OSB won't hold it.
compromised.
Oh
That
my.
decking was already compromised because of its exposure to moisture, a prolonged
Right.
exposure to moisture. Therefore, even if it was a tight grip into the deck when we first got on the roof with those repairs, over time, those locations have begun to deteriorate, degenerate, because of the predisposition to this condition that was a result of the prolonged moisture exposure.
So where this is all this back to the Band-Aids are expensive and lasting solutions, okay, real value. Scotty and I started having a conversation about, man, it started with me going, I really feel bad about the thousands of dollars that this gentleman has paid us to maintain this roof for him.
Well, to repair and then hopefully maintain,
Yeah.
get it to a maintenance
I
level.
understand that it's not our responsibility, that we didn't do anything wrong, but I still feel we feel an obligation
course.
to him. And so Scotty and I are looking at it and we say, okay, you could remove every fastener on his roof and go back with oversized lifetime fasteners. But if we suspect the issue that we suspect with the OSB decking, that is another expensive Band-Aid. Okay? So, we're looking at all the possibilities here. I believe it's possible that there's an insurance claim there, depending on exactly what his insurance policy says. And if that is in fact the case at the end of the day, then removing that roof, redecking that roof, and then properly installing his metal roof with proper underlayments, flashing details, lifetime fasteners, and everything else, then that's a solution. He built this house. He intends to be there forever, but I don't intend to take a couple $1,000s a year from him for the rest of his life, either trying to do something that's not accomplishing anything for
Right.
him. So that's the difference in somebody who just wants to sell you something and somebody that cares about providing a service. And I saw a text message from this gentleman to Scotty, and in that text message he says, the first time I met you, Scotty, I knew you were somebody who cared and would take care of me.
How wonderful.
And that's really, people want to know what makes McRoof difference. Scotty makes McRoof
there you
difference.
go. It's the end, Scotty.
Yeah.
Hey, our trivia question still is hanging out there.
It sure is.
If you think you know the answer, 405-478-1520. How many years is the workmanship warranty, the 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty from CertainTeed? How many years does it cover workmanship?
And when you go look this up, be sure you're looking at 5-star, okay? Because the 4-star and the 3-star is not the answer we're looking for.
So this is the best creme de la creme warranty program that Certainteed offers.
That's correct.
Yes.
How
it
many
is.
years does it cover workmanship? 10, 15, 25, or 50?
And I'll just tell you, this is the gold standard for asphalt shingle warranties in North America.
Okay. 405-478-1520. I think it's time for Scotty to get up on the roof.
Oh boy.
In today's episode of Scotty's View from the Roof, Scotty meets with a feisty insurance adjuster, but whips him into shape by pulling a trick out of his magic tool bag in an episode titled The Chalk Don't Lie.
Yes. Well, this is actually recalling a not too recent experience, but certainly not this week, but not too long ago.
A recent experience.
Reasonably recent experience, and this happens quite often. I'm probably even predicting and telling this story what I can expect might happen on another appointment next week, potentially, knowing the conditions on that site. But nonetheless, when I get a testy adjuster who, as this gentleman did, began to deny that there was any evidence of hail impact on the garage doors, for example, or an exterior metal insulated door. It tends to be a metal surface, but what's beautiful about a metal surface is that we've got multiple things that show hail impact, and that's a flashlight and a piece of normal sidewalk chalk. And they feel,
Yeah, we buy chalk by the buckets.
and they
Yeah.
they feel and they've got it, but they tend not to use it very often. All that just to say, when they feel it and they feel a door and they say,
they
"Oh,
don't-
there's no impact, nothing here," and they step away a few feet, they take a photo. They take a photo of the garage door, overhead door, side door, anything like that. I come in behind them. Usually when they're done on the roof and about to get in their vehicle, I ask them, "Hey, what about this door? And what about, the overhead door? And what about the AC unit?" All these things. Wave my chalk against it. Once it's got a nice flat edge, I usually smooth that out on the concrete so it's got a nice flat edge. And this is not a proprietary trick, by the way. And you just swipe it once or twice where you think it's a good spot for hail impact on a door, metal surface, AC unit, overhead door. And what do you know? The chalk don't lie.
It shows the impact.
Yes, it
How
does.
about that?
Well, I sure am glad he went there, because I'm trying to figure out the chalk don't lie, getting up on a roof and all this, and I would say that most insurance companies say that our chalk on a roof does lie.
So in this feisty, testy adjuster, what was his response when you called him on it? And,
Okay. Yeah. I didn't see that.
yeah, of course. Yeah,
Oh man,
Yeah,
I tell you
I
what.
don't.
Looked pretty even to me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. So in the minute we have left in this
Yeah, let's
segment,
do. You want to do the layers on the cake?
if you can do it in 1
We can
minute.
do it in a minute and a half. Okay, so how many layers on that cake? Well, which part of the roof do you want me to look at, Rick?
How about the?
Okay, how about the main gable? Well,
Yeah.
the main gable, on the front of the main gable, has 2 layers of asphalt shingles. I'm sorry, 3 layers of asphalt shingles and 1 layer of wood shakes on top of skip decking.
Oh my
okay.
goodness.
Boy.
The back of the main gable has 2 layers of asphalt shingles and on top of wood shakes and 1x8 decking.
Oh boy.
Okay, the south part of this roof, lower slope. Okay, it's got 2 layers of mod bit with 2 layers of asphalt shingles on top of it, on top of 1x12 decking. So it depends on which part of this roof you want me to look at to tell you how many layers are on that cake. Now I got to tell
How did you document that?
as we tore everything apart, I'm there with my camera, layer by layer by layer by layer. I'll tell you, at the end of the day, when that is properly written for the insurance company to pay us for what we had to do, all those layers, not counting the redeck, is going to be over $10,000 for removal and doing this roof correctly.
Disposal.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness
Right.
gracious. And with that, we'll take our second break. That's the end of Act 2 of McRoof Talks Insurance. Today live on KOKC, AM 1520, FM 95.3. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. He's Scott McCollum, and the other one over there is Scotty McCollum. Our trivia question still is out there. How many years of does the workmanship warranty cover on a certain Teed 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty? 10, 15, 25, or 50. We'll be right back.
Impact-resistant lineup is
Hey, Rick. Do you want to hear Boomer Center coming for the OU thing?
Okay.
For the football?
All right.
Okay.
or the King of Shingles brand new. Call Carly today at 855-766-3405 or go to McRoof.us. Replacement done right.
Hey folks, Scott McCollum here for Roof RX. We have got to get those roofs inspected. If you have not had your roof inspected, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but winter is coming. We're running out of time. We've got to get those roofs inspected, particularly any of you people who may have been to the outskirts of either the severe hailstorm in September or the tornadoes a week or so ago. You've got to get your roof looked at by somebody that knows what they're doing. If not, you're assuming that you don't have any damage on your roof, and you're assuming that your roof is going to get you through the winter time without having any water intrusion into your home. Rick, what happens when we assume?
I can't say it on the radio.
You just don't want to do that, folks. Let's get out there and know for sure exactly what's going on your roof. If you do need some Band-Aids before the rains come, if you need some repairs to get you through the winter time, or even if you need to replace your roof, we'll walk you through the process. Give Roof RX a call. Talk to Carly at 405-877-7663. 877-7663. Roof RX.
McRoof Talks Insurance back on the air for Act 3 of today's show. Want to remind everybody our trivia question still out there. How many years does the workmanship warranty cover on the Certainteed 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty program? 10, 15, 25, or 50? 405-478-1520 if you think you know the answer. And I have it on good authority that today the bookies are guaranteeing that the University of Oklahoma will not lose their football game.
What?
They're guaranteed to not lose today.
Wow. Interesting.
I tell you. However,
Nothing's a guarantee, Rick.
on this date in 1957, the 47-game winning streak that OU had in football came to an end when Notre Dame defeated them at home 7-0.
Notre Dame.
On this date in 1960, U.S. Marshals escorted Ruby Bridges and 3 other 6-year-old African-American girls to previously all-white public schools in New Orleans. That was a big day. And then, on this date in 1965, Walt Disney launched Epcot Center, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Then, on this date in 1974, John Lennon's only #1 hit in the U.S. and only #1 during his lifetime, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And before he was knighted, Sir Elton John appears with him on this song. Thank you, John Lennon. Okay, so once again, our trivia question still out there. The 5-star Sure Start Plus warranty program from Certainteed covers workmanship for how many years? 10, 15, 25, or 50? If you think you know the answer, 405-478-1520. Or if you have any phone call, any question you want to give these guys, 405-478-1520. Last call for your call.
Yep.
Okay, so Scott, fortified.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do is, again, we've got our IBHS Fortified seminar at the Central Oklahoma Home Builders offices on East Britton Road on Monday at 11:30. Anyone who would like to, this is a luncheon, if anyone would like to attend, feel free to be my guest. Give me a call or text me on my cell phone, 405-600-5587, 405-600-5587. Tell me, Scott, I'm in, and your name and how many people you're going to bring with you. And I'll make sure that you're taken care of for Monday. I wanted to kind of let people know a little bit about the costs associated with building a fortified roof. Okay? So I've broken this down for you. The first fee that you're going to have in building a fortified roof is going to be the evaluator's fee. The evaluator, me, someone else who is certified, is going to be the person who will put all of the paperwork together, document the entire process of replacing your roof, and submit all of that to IBHS for audit, for underwriting, so to speak. And then upon acceptance, they will issue your certificate that will generate the discounts for you from your insurance company. That fee typically is going to be around $500, okay? I have gone through this based on a 40 square roof. Scotty, I think that's a fairly good average for us is a 40 square. That's 4,000 square feet of actual roof covering. That's what these numbers are based on. So you've got $500 for your evaluator. You have about $200 in your 8D ring shank nails that are going to have to be applied to your existing decking to get it nailed according to the standard.
Now, this is assuming that you have code decking on your house already.
That is exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
And that's material only.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you can either seal your deck with an acceptable tape or with a full application of an ice and water product. My number is based on installing the ice and water product because that seems to be the most efficient. That cost is $2,400 on a 40 square roof. Okay. Then we eliminate the cost of the synthetic underlayment. Okay, because you have a full ice and water barrier, you won't need that. So I'm taking away $493 that would have been the cost of your synthetic underlayment. I'm adding in the cost of the mastic, the asphaltic bed that your starter course must be installed in. That's to keep your starter course on the roof. If we can keep your starter course on the roof at the eaves and rakes, the chances of us losing your roof covering above that point is greatly minimized. The cost of that mastic bed on a 40 square roof, about $350. Then I've added in the cost of your required Flex Technology asphalt shingle, okay, like our Northgate or our Certainty Landmark Climate Flex, okay. That shingle cost is going to be $1,694, all right. So when I add all this together, I've got you at $4,700 for that fortified system. That's the evaluator and everything involved in it on a 40 square roof. That works out to $117.52 per square. Okay. Now, on a 40 square roof with that required redeck, like you were talking about, on an insurance claim last week from the worst paying insurance company we deal with, that roof was $696.22 per square. So when I divide $117 by $696, I'm coming up with an increased cost for fortified of 16.8%. Now, let me tell you this. You're investing 16.8%. your discount is going to be a minimum of 32% of your homeowner's premium of, I estimated, $3,500. That's $1,120 a year. At that rate, it would take you 4.2 years to have earned your investment back, okay? That is also assuming that you did not sustain a storm loss during that 4 years, because if you did, you would have incurred another deductible of $2,869, okay? So at the end of the day, folks, this stuff makes sense. It's what people need to be looking at, people need to be investing in. We've got to build better. We've got to build better roofs. We've got to build better homes. We've got to build better structures, commercial, multifamily, everything. We've got to build better, okay? We've got to get away from this mentality of building everything to the minimum required standard or the building code, okay? So that's it in a nutshell for you. I will tell you that the asphalt shingle roofs in our location, everybody says, well, we don't get 20, 30, 40 years out of an asphalt shingle roof in Oklahoma. Well, of course we don't, okay? But I will tell you right now that I believe that our Northgate and our Climate Flex and some of our flex technologies with a fortified roof system, and proper ventilation, which is a requirement, I absolutely believe that we will be seeing asphalt shingle roofs that are performing for 20 and 30 and more years with the technology and the building science that we have available to us now. You won't be replacing that roof every 7.2 years, okay? You're going to get to have a roof. We have roofs right now with the old technology
that are going on 20
the
years.
landmark IR technology. We have roofs right now that are going on 20 years old in North Texas, not in Oklahoma because I've only been here for 15 years, but in North Texas, we have roofs that are going on 20 years old that are still weathering the storms. And you know, as much hail as we had here, North Texas had more hail than we did this year. We have roofs in Oklahoma that are 15 years old that look like the day. I had an adjuster tell me, Scott, I was on one of your roofs last week, and I knew it was your roof because the homeowner told me it was your roof. And he said, I was on one of your roofs last week, and that roof looked like, if I had been aging that roof just from my visual inspection, he said, I would have thought that roof was 3 to 5 years old. That roof is 15 years, almost to the day old.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
That's
I'm
impressive.
so glad you broke down those costs, because in my mind I was thinking fortified had to be
Tens of thousands of dollars. No.
and
No.
and you know, on a 40 square roof, I mean, I think that was about $500 or so of the materials. That, and the labor can't be much more because they're already up there doing all of that work. So
Yeah, the only incremental labor costs we have the labor costs for them hand nailing your deck.
yes,
We have the labor costs for them installing a full ice and water membrane.
yeah,
And we have the labor costs for them in applying the troweled asphalt all the way around
and
the perimeter
taping
of the
all
roof.
the seams on the decking.
Well, you don't have to tape the seams if you've installed the winter
A
guard.
full
The
self-adhered.
full-
Oh.
that's
ice
that's
and
why
water.
that's why I use the full winter guard.
Okay.
It's
ice
more
and water
cost-effective,
product.
but also provides more coverage.
You don't have
Yeah.
to tape it, and you don't have to use an underlay.
Well, I say it's
It
more,
is
it's
your-
better value. It's not more cost-effective
It's
as a
better value.
right.
total
But
price.
then
Right.
to be able to earn back through
Right.
insurance discounts in just over 4 years.
Yep.
I mean, talk about a no-brainer.
Well, and as we talked about, you know, in the bulletin from OID, there was an indication of a discount as great as 42% for fortified in Oklahoma. Now, I think Scotty looked, and that was a fairly small
Local carrier.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
but I believe as this develops and as it becomes the way that roofs are replaced, I believe that you're going to see a lot of things change in the way that the structures of those discounts work. I believe that they're probably the discounts, number one, will be higher for fortified roofs than for, say, you just had the class 4 impact resistant shingle. Well, there's got to be more of a discount for going full fortified.
Yeah.
I call it integrity roof system on steroids.
Yeah.
Okay, there has to be more discount for full fortified than there is just for the IR shingle.
Yeah.
All right. So that stuff will all will develop over time. But I will tell you this: when we start building roofs this way, and I think that we've proven this within our little universe, when we start building roofs this way, we extend the lives of those roofs, the performance of those roofs. People are not incurring deductibles. They're not having to have that roof replaced like their friends and neighbors are. They are earning their money back on their discounts, and in very short order, they are making money on that investment. And when you can protect your family and your friends and your pets and everybody,
have the peace of mind
everything,
while
have
you're
that
at it.
peace of mind while you're at it, man, what a great deal.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we've had storms, so we can call this one, and we're having more this weekend, so we can call this segment Before the Storm.
Scotty, you do it.
The whole thing? Okay.
Yeah, just do the before the storm.
Some
Just,
tips.
I mean, what do we need to do?
Some tips. Winter is
Get a-
coming. What tips?
Winter's coming.
Yep. Well, it pays to be proactive. Get a qualified roof inspection.
There you go.
Do not let, well, if you do, please do your homework, but ideally don't let somebody who comes walking up to your door up on your roof. If it suits you, maybe they'll do a good job for you, but please do your homework as much as you can. Review your current insurance policy as well. You always need to know what coverage you have before a storm comes through and potentially can do some damage to your roof or your home. You need to know if you've got actual cash value an actual cash value policy versus replacement cost coverage, what your deductible is, what the coverage is for other structures like as they call them, dwelling extensions,
Ordinance
a
or
shed,
law.
a shed, a barn, a workshop, any agricultural structures or just general other structures on your property. You also need to always make sure if if you have building code coverage or ordinance and law coverage that it might apply to ventilation, ice and water barrier, doing certain flashing details the most optimal way when you're doing the re-roof. And then last but certainly not least, your plank decking to be decked over to current building code with an applicable or an acceptable substrate per building code.
Okay. Well, I have to remind everybody once again that S&CM LLC, doing business as McRoof.us, legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both commercial and residential roofing. I see we have a couple of callers on the line.
Oh,
Folks,
boy.
we just don't have time to get you in. We have just seconds left before.
So I'm going to give you the answer to the trivia
Okay,
question.
so-
The answer to the trivia question is 25-year workmanship. 25-year workmanship. Okay?
All
That's
right.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, I got it right.
Scott
Yay.
gets 2 free tickets to Carpenter Square
Okay,
Theater.
I'll take them.
All right, so the Fortified seminar.
Yep.
Now that folks know a little bit more that Fortified isn't going to cost them, another mortgage on the house.
Fortified's money in the bank.
So give Scott a call, 405-600-5587. Text him right now.
Right now, let me know you want to come.
All right. So,
Okay.
Dad's wisdom.
Lessons in life will be repeated until they are learned. Albert Einstein.
We'll see you next week. This has been McRoof Talks Insurance on KOKC, AM 1520, FM 95.3. My thanks to Scott McCollum, Scotty McCollum, Eric Yandel. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. We will see you next week. Have a stay dry tomorrow and Monday.
And stay warm later in the week.
Oh, that's right.
Have a good weekend.
So, Scotty, you didn't send Rick my dad's wisdom?
No. You sent it to him,
Oh,
and
I did?
think he would have,
Oh.
if I...
I was
If
I
I-
was given a choice of 2, and I went with the shorter one.
Oh, Carly scanned his notes to you.
I saw that. But then you had sent me.
Yeah, I had suggested that somebody
Trust me, I
probably.
looked for about
I had
15,
suggested
20
that somebody
minutes.
probably needed to change mine.
I forgot what
You
it was
suggested.
now.
Pissing in the wind is
Oh, yeah.
not a warm shower.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I didn't know that would be suitable for radio.
Yeah, I did question that one when I saw it. All right, I will see you Monday. I did my RSVP to Carly.
Okay.
She wasn't aware that there was lunch.
Oh,
I requested a vegetarian lunch, and she said, "Oh, I don't think they're serving lunch." And I said, "Well, it's a lunchtime seminar."
yes it is.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll see you Monday.
All right. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hey there, Jackson.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Okay, Scotty, am I going to Schwartz?
I don't know. That's up to you. I can tell you where I'm going.
Have you been to Schwartz?
No,
Okay.
I'm going to Moore and Norman.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Did Carly schedule something with me to be at your house with you for me to be at your house for
On Tuesday.
on Tuesday? Got it.
It was originally Monday, and then she wrote back and said, "Weather, bump it to Tuesday."
Got it.
So
Well,
we'll have our bucket in the bathroom.
I'm sorry.
I understand. That's what I told Gwen. Awfully busy.
Well, we're a little. Yeah, everybody's